I've been here every year since it began, so it's kind of sad to see it go. But everything moves on, I guess.
Unfortunately, they say, see you next year. They don't know what's happening. Nobody knows.
We heard they're developing the land.
They're going to put a bunch of luxurious apartments. That's all we know.
That's all we know.
Okay, the next thing down is the choke, okay? So the hands are on the shoulders, thumbs are right at the collarbone, and you always hold onto the wrists. Never let them slip up. And it's all in the reaction. If you have drool flying out, your eyes are bugging out of your head, that's what the customers are going to know.
Make everybody a my lord and my lady. Use thee and thou for everybody except the queen. I and nay, a couple of good morrows, a few verilies, and you have the Elizabethan language started.
Fairfield Engine 3, do you know what room this is in? When I was 10 years old, I remember reading a comic book. And in that comic book, this child was in a fire and he was trapped underneath the bed. And he saw a vision of this knight coming to rescue him. And in this cartoon, the fireman was a knight. It was the thing that let him know that he was going to be okay. And I see a parallel there. There's a lot of people with real normal lives that like to forget about the world they're living in and the stress of going back and forth to work and all the stuff they deal with, go to fair, and be something else.
Actually, during the week, I'm a secretary. Talk about a class society. Let me tell you, when you work in an office of a big corporation, you learn who is above who. It kind of feels good to come back out here and get to be the head honcho.
God save the Queen! God save the Queen! There is one this day that we would honor here. A woman who has brought us all here, Mistress Phyllis Patterson. Hip hip!
The fair started with a children's theater group, and the children wanted to do more, and that became the fair. The very first fair had 500 people working on it. Today there are approximately 4,000 people involved in the production of the fair, 2,000 of whom are volunteer performers for the most part. There are 75 versions of the Renaissance Fair now in other states.
Therefore it is only right and fitting that we honor her this day and join our voices in a single cheer. God save Phyllis Patterson! God save Phyllis Patterson!
In 1994, we partnered with an entity called Renaissance Entertainment Corporation, signing the papers on April Fool's Day.
Free T-shirt! Apply for the Renaissance Fair Visa card and receive a free T-shirt.
At this table, we do sell the Queen's Visa card. Letters of credit issued by a bank in the New World.
You have a face like a boil, sir. You should lance that and let it drain. Maggots! Pray mercy, no! Lucky little unit! You throw a tomato like a fruit! Oh! You say your name, Will!
This was my first time doing sound. I'm a radiologist. I probably will specialize, I'm not sure in what, possibly neuroradiology. Being there with a camera and equipment and, you see behind the scenes, you know, what they were like out of costume and when they're goofing around, and it seemed less magical.
There will not be a need to sacrifice the lives of these people.
I have not been back to the site since the last day of the fair, even though I only live 5 minutes away. And I look the other way as we drive by. You have a whole life's work and the effort of thousands of people in the fair's community, and it can vanish. To watch that destruction of an art form is very painful, just as watching the destruction of the forest was very painful.
Most of the people you see here today are the same people who were here last year, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. Unfortunately, a nut tree is extremely hot.
Welcome to the Renaissance Fair. Here at the Nut Tree. This area is called the Nut Tree, and the reason why is because of this tree. This is the nut tree, and I'm not sure people appreciate that when they come to the gate. So let's just take a moment to all kind of, you know, appreciate the nut tree. How many folks are just looking at my butt? Looking at my butt? Okay. Thank you.
At the end of every Renaissance Pleasure Fair that we produced, I like to think that it was good enough to be the last, that it was done with integrity, with style, with humor, and as the last person left the fair and the shadows faded in October, the sun was setting as the fair was over, I would think, and now the next one should be even better.